Welcome to Southpark Seafood. Today I'm going to show you how to shuck an oyster. So the first step in shucking and enjoying oysters is finding the freshest oysters possible, like we serve at Southpark Seafood. Next, make sure you have the right knife. Shucking knives come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Now, I prefer a shorter blade, which gives you more control when working with oysters. Most importantly though, you want a stiff blade with no wiggle. When shucking an oyster, it's important to protect your hand that's holding the oyster. So take a towel like this and hold the oyster in the towel. I suggest you don't try this without a towel until you've shucked 10 to 20,000 oysters. To open the oyster, insert the knife at the hinge, applying a good deal of pressure and twisting the knife back and forth. You'll feel a bit of a pop when the oyster separates. Now slide the knife along the top shell, separating the abductor muscle. Slide the knife between the flesh and the bottom shell, which will separate the other abductor muscle. Check for any bits of shell that might have broken loose and clean them out. Turn the oyster and there you have it, a beautiful oyster on the half shell. Now it's time to slurp the oyster. There are three distinct parts of an oyster's flavor: the salinity, texture, and the finish. The salinity, or brininess, comes from the water where the oyster lived. Oysters can be lightly salty, or they can be like taking a mouthful of ocean water. Next comes the oyster's texture, which can be firm, meaty, plump, or creamy. Finally, you experience the finish. It's a lot like going wine tasting, where you have an entire palette of flavors that show up. You might taste hints of mushroom, leather, wood, cucumber, seaweed, or even fruit like watermelon. So there you have it, shucking and enjoying an oyster.